Hey, what's up?
Players fuck up.
Hey, players fuck up. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yo, so welcome back to another episode of Brick Shot with Billy Antonio. Oh, we gotta get sound bites so we can put clapping hands in there, man.
Yeah.
Christian, how you doing again?
Oh, are we gonna redo the whole segment?
Now we
I'm
don't.
surviving the storms. Everything's
It's
good
okay,
my
man.
way.
It's
They
okay.
blew the roof off that.
Beside all that, beside all the storms and bad weather, I'm good. I'm all right.
That's what's up. I'll just say I said it in the pre-show, but we got a guy at work who had never seen Friday. We got him to watch it the other day, and all he's been doing is telling me, "But you live to fight another day."
Hey, man, that's dumb funny.
Make it enough.
Hey, Billy's drunk. Christian, next question.
Well, let's tell them what the first one was, since we didn't record it. The first question was better safety out of Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu. Billy took Ed Reed. Tonio took Ed Reed. I took Ed Reed. Matt took Troy Polamalu. Second question.
Respect.
Better receiver out of Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. Or I'm not going to say better receiver. Who you going with? You're a GM. You're a head coach. Who you want as your number one?
All right, because that switches the whole thing up. I'm going Randy Moss, bro. I was going, like, if you would have said better, I was going Terrell Owens, but who I want, I'm going Randy Moss.
Yeah.
So I respect. So I like this question because these are the three best receivers we've ever seen play. Zero disrespect to Jerry Rice, but the offense he was in, what he was able to do was aided him a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, when he was 40 and still caught 1,200 yards and still had 1,200 yards receiving,
yeah,
that's no fucking no disrespect. But
hey, Billy, side note, we met the guy that got Jerry Rice out of the league in Spain.
who?
You don't remember that? He came to Spain with Orlando Brown, or not Orlando Brown. Orlando, he used to play for the Broncos. Orlando
Scandrick?
No, he was an offensive tackle. Or it might not be Orlando. Some of the no. He won a Super Bowl with them.
Oh, John, no, hell no.
No, with the Broncos.
Orlando, no, not Orlando.
Oh, from Miami, Orlando Franklin.
No, what? The Broncos.
Orlando Franklin played for the Broncos.
You said Miami. But I think it is Orlando.
No, he came from Miami University of Miami.
Yeah, Orlando Franklin. He's like 6.
Yeah.
The guy's name off the top of my head, but he beat him out. He beat Jerry Rice out in the Broncos. He ended up being their 7th wide receiver or 6th wide receiver.
Oh, when those cheerleaders and shit came.
Yeah, we had the flag football game.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. But yeah, no disrespect. But I'm going Calvin Johnson. You're giving me an absolute nightmare matchup. The biggest, strongest, fastest dude on the field. No slight to Randy Moss. My favorite receiver is Terrell Owens, so it's hard. That was a pretty hard question. But if I'm a GM, I'm going Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
I'm also going Calvin Johnson. A little bias here, but there's never been a wide receiver that's been built like Calvin Johnson, athletically like Calvin Johnson. There's been wide receivers his size, but they never ran this. The way he goes, the way he jumps, everything about him is an anomaly. Like, it doesn't happen. It's never happened.
Do we think don't count, Paul?
Do we think Quentin Johnson has some Calvin Johnson?
No, he's like 6'4", 210. Calvin was 30 pounds heavier than him.
Okay.
So, like, you think about that. That's like 6'4", 210 is big. But Calvin Johnson at 6'5", 237 pounds ran a 4.35, 40-inch vertical. And over the Cowboys, over the Bengals, went up over 3 people, snatched that ball. Like, if you're telling me that's going to happen more than once in someone's career, give me that guy.
Bingo. What about you, Christian? Who you taking?
Man, I love Calvin Johnson, but give me Randy. Let's send it deep every play. Like they said, I think Warren Sapp said it. They ran the hell out of him in practice. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to run your ass on some goals all game. Go get it.
Hell yeah.
We got 3 more and we'll wrap it up. better receiver, Julio Jones or Andre Johnson?
Ooh, receiver or like
Just
I think
receiver.
Julio's more intimidating because you're like, fuck, this guy could go over the top, do whatever. But I feel like Andre was the better receiver. But I feel like Julio could do more of whatever the hell he wanted, just because he's like the best athlete on the field. But I'm gonna say Andre is the better receiver.
Okay. Tonio?
I'm going Julio, man. I don't know. Well, Julio made Matt Ryan look like gold. Actually, Julio got Matt Ryan MVP. That's hard to do. We seen the fall off of Matt Ryan. In that Super Bowl where we came back, I had to mention us. Julio made some of the craziest catches in that. Like that sideline catch was crazy as fuck, bro. Like I still just perfectly boom, tiptoe. It's just crazy. For somebody to get double team from like the second year of their career on until the drop off or until he left Atlanta, that's a testament to how good he was. That's how.
Can I add two things?
Go ahead.
So you said Julio Jones made Matt Ryan win MVP. Well, Andre Johnson made Matt Schaub lead the league in receiving, that's fucking Matt Schaub. He was a nobody. Still is a nobody. He was a backup for the Falcons after that for 20 years. But then also, Andre Johnson could beat you deep. He could beat you anywhere on the field, and then he could also beat your ass like he beat Cortland Finnegan's ass.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of him. I might go with him now because of the fight.
He beat it. Yeah.
And he beat that dude. That's crazy.
I'm gonna go Julio. It's a tough one, but I like Andre Johnson. Fast, can run the route tree, good hands. But Julio, I don't know. It just seemed like he was just beside Calvin Johnson. He was the best receiver in the league easily. Billy, I asked the question: better receiver out of I think you heard it. Julio and Andre Johnson.
I did hear it. I think I'm going to go with Andre Johnson only because he did more with less, or not more with less, but he did the same with a lot less. He came into a Houston organization that was known for just being uber crappy and just not put together, and he handled himself like an men's professional. And I would go with Andre Johnson. Also with the injuries with Julio, even though he plays through those injuries, it's always kind of scary to just have a guy with a hamstring injury for 5 years. That's where my mind would be at.
Next one, we got London Fletcher or Zach Thomas.
Ooh, I think these are the two least appreciated middle linebackers ever.
And that's why I picked him too.
London Fletcher is third all time in tackles, which doesn't get talked about enough. Zach Thomas coming out of Texas Tech. Obviously, I'm having a little recency bias now. But if I had to pick one, I'm taking London Fletcher.
Okay.
I'm also going to go London Fletcher off the pure fact. I believe he played like a season or 2 seasons where I forget what vertigo, where you don't have your balance. Like people have to hold poles. Like he literally just fought through that, had that for a whole season, led the league in tackles that year. Couldn't even walk straight, but led the league in tackles. How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, that's a dog mentality.
Also, I want to throw in just one more thing, that London Fletcher and Zach Thomas are the only players for every year of Madden they had a smile on their face for their picture.
I never knew that.
And London Fletcher is 5'10", just a small.
I'm going London Fletcher too. We don't gotta explain. They just explained everything. What you got, Chris?
Well, I guess I'll show some love to the white man. I got Zach Thomas. Really no argument. Just it's one and the same. I'm gonna just go Thomas. I really have no reason why. I gotta pick somebody.
I got you.
Last one. Better tight end. Antonio Gates. Y'all probably thinking, does it get better than that? Or Tony Gonzalez?
This one's hard.
This one has like conflicting reasons because personally, Antonio Gates is my favorite tight end to ever play.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, Tony Gonzalez is like the poster boy of the position. Like you want to be a tight end? Okay, watch this guy. Like, do exactly what this guy has done, and you're gonna be fine. But at the same time, it's like Antonio Gates, like he just caught touchdowns. That's what he did. He caught touchdowns. He got open. He was an athlete at the position when there was never really like athletes. There was small offensive lineman out there catching the ball. So, damn, I'm gonna go Tony Gonzalez just because when you look up tight end in a dictionary, it probably has his picture next to it. So,
I'm also gonna go Tony Gonzalez for the same reason Matt just said. If it wasn't for Tony Gonzalez, we would not have an Antonio Gates or a Gronk or a fucking Travis Kelce. We wouldn't have them.
I'm going Antonio Gates, looking out for the black man. Just good. And we got the same name, so like
that's fair.
Your last name is Gates?
Same first name is what I said. And Paul is drunk.
I'm gonna go with Tony Gonzalez. Again, they neck and neck. Gates is right on his ass, or if you want to look at it, Gonzalez is right on Gates' ass. So if you ask me, I'm gonna just go Gonzalez. He just, like Matt really said, the poster child or man of a tight end. So that's what I'm gonna roll with. Absolutely. And that's gonna conclude Christian's Corner for the week.
Hey,
hell yeah.
Another dope session. Christian come with the fucking the brain teasers for real, man. Make you think a lot. But
those are harder than some riddles sometimes, man. Yeah. Like it's like, oh.
Try to make it interesting.
I got you.
Get him a Riddler outfit to wear during it.
Oh yeah, like for the segment. Hell yeah.
Listen, as your friend and as a fellow,
I'm thinking a shirt that says full court press.
What's up with you and wanting to name it full court press, man?
My man gave it to me. He came up with it and I like it.
All right.
I just want a shirt where I can cut holes in my shirt and it says eyes are up here and my nipples are out.
All right, man. So, hey, we're going to move on to a pretty controversial topic, I think, for right now. We've talked WNBA one time on this show, and this is the second mention of women's sports. So, sorry that we're not that progressive, but
do a minimum though.
LSU takes down Iowa in the women's national championship game. There was a lot of stuff going on towards the end of the game, and that's all that's being talked about. I'm going to hand the floor over to Tonio, and he's going to give y'all his takes on it.
All right, man. So I'm gonna keep it a bow with you. Billy, obviously one of my best friends, right? Because we want to do a show called Brick Shots with Billy and Antonio. And as if you can't tell, I'm black and Billy is white, right? But we're friends, you know. So we kind of set aside everything that goes on in the outside world and just, you know, vibe with each other, right? Well, the rest of America ain't too hip to that shit, and that's what brings us here to this today. So, Angel Reese, dope college ball player, just recently won the Natty, right? And she beat probably College Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark. Not even probably, definitely unanimous Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark. They call her the Larry Bird Jr. That's Larry Bird's daughter. She is a phenomenal player. Can't take nothing away from her at all. And this has nothing. I have to do this because my homeboy, shout out to Dre, who's supposed to be here. But you know, when you get promoted, it's a lot that gets taken out of you. So I ain't mad. But Dre told me to make sure I didn't go at her neck because it ain't her fault. So for content. Everybody watches wrestling, knows the John Cena, you can't see me. Well, it came from Tony Ayo first, so we'll put that out there, but John acknowledge that. But Angel Reese did it to Caitlin Clark, and the world act like she pulled a gun out on her and shot her right there on the court. Like, it was crazy. But for reference, we go back to maybe a game earlier or 2 games earlier. Caitlin Clark did the same shit, and everybody was like, "Oh, she got that dog in her. Oh, that's swag. Oh, yeah, killer." Angel Reese do it to Caitlin Clark, and she's classless. The Barstools dude said she's a classist piece of shit. The dude that started Barstools, another guy called her a fucking idiot. It was crazy. Like, people were going crazy, still going crazy. And like I said, we that show that's gonna touch in on it. Only reason why they did it because she's a black lady, bro. She said it in her post game interview that all year I've been ghetto, I've been this, I've been that, but all she's been doing is being unapologetically black, and I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know. It's 2023. It's still hard for a black person to be a black person without somebody on the other side or some C words in our own side looking at us like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm just being myself. She didn't do the same thing that Caitlin did was respected, but when she did it and she won, then she got disrespected. Like, people on Twitter still going in. I'm talking like politicians, people like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a daughter, right? Billy, you got a daughter.
I do.
I promise you, if Bree grow up to be my height and can hoop, and she is good at hooping, and she go far, I'm letting everybody know. Y'all can go back and rewind this tape when we go to court about it. Any one of y'all internet people say some crazy shit, especially with a blue check behind your name, and you out in public a lot, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. I don't care. I don't care if you're a politician, a pastor, whatever. If you fix your lips to say something about somebody being competitive in a fucking sport, I'm gonna beat the dog shit out of you. And then you can call me a fucking idiot because I probably was in that moment, but I'm gonna feel good as fuck beating them words out of you. I'm gonna beat fucking idiot out of you. Like, that shit is so disrespectful to her. I don't know why people saying she's not ladylike. She playing fucking competitive sports. I don't need for her that shit. Matter of fact, the shit got more views than the men's national championship. Because I don't even know how many people. Only like 3 million people watched that shit. It was like +9 for the women's. So they wanted to see that. Then nobody want to tune in to see everybody like, just going out there looking like ass, getting a 40-point game, and that being it. They went out there, they played, they was competitive, and everybody's bitching about it. And I hate it. I hate it for it. Because I want to see that shit. Because now everybody always crying like the WNBA don't make no money. This shit is gonna lead into the WNBA making money. Because now, hey, let's start a female Larry Bird and Magic Johnson situation. They go to the league, hey, boom, let's make them rivals in the WNBA. People gonna tune into that shit. Females watch that shit at an all-time high. And for Dr. Jill Biden to try to invite both teams to the White House, hey man, hey, you need to be sleepy right next to Joe. Don't say no dumbass shit like that. Who the fuck rewards the loser? They lost. You're a loser. It's okay. You made it to the, but you're a loser. Still, you don't reward losers. We don't reward losers, bro. Like, hey, kudos for getting there, but you lost. Ain't nobody ever said, even Barack, he didn't invite LeBron to the White House when the Warriors won. Or he wasn't like, yeah, you know what? Let's bring them. Nah, they ain't do that. So look, let's not do that. Let's not minimalize women. First of all, like, they're doing the same shit just against each other. It's the same sport. Let's do it just like football and basketball. Whoever get their ass beat, bye. See you next season.
Yeah.
I'm at the White House, but the whole LSU declined going to the White House because Joe Biden didn't even have them leaving Baton Rouge on the fucking bracket. So they was like, yeah, we cool. You can sit So yeah, it's a lot, bro. I didn't expect for it to be this controversial, but that black versus white shit, racism shit, that shit need to die, bro. Like, hey, especially in sports. Like, come on, bro. You're not gonna get other than the NBA. You ain't gonna get no sport that's 100% one color. The NBA is 99.7% black. But
we got to get some real numbers on that for you, John. We will.
Yeah, sorry, John. But I don't like it. That shit was bullshit. Whole situation bullshit. I gotta ask one of y'all how y'all feel about it, because y'all on the other side. So what you feel? I'm asking you, Billy.
So I'll take it. But I do want to say one thing, and I think it kind of, I don't know if it's the wrong thing to say, but I don't like the fact that we're saying unapologetically black. I don't think the skin color of you determines your traits as a person. I think she's unapologetically herself. She's unapologetically competitive. She's unapologetically.
So you say that, but she's black. So if she unapologetically herself, is she not black?
No. I'm with you, and I understand how that can be misconstrued, or how I could have been misunderstood with it. But if, like you said, I have a daughter also. I don't care what the fuck is going on. If my daughter's a winner and that's how she wants to act when she wins, she's a fucking winner. You can't tell her anything. She just fucking won. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. I think this is a great way to show little girls, hey, this is real. This is competitive. This means something. Not just, oh, it's the women's, who cares? It's showing little girls, hey, this matters. This is important. This like, and what we're not talking about Angel Reese is, this is the highlight of her life so far. I'm guessing. If it's me and I'm her age and all that, and I don't have any kids, that's the highlight of my life. I'm a national champion of the sport that I love and the sport that I want to play. So that's number one. She's still a kid. I don't care if she's 20, 21, doesn't matter. She's still a kid. She hasn't figured out the whole gig or whatever. And what people are saying with this, oh, she's a thug. That's another way to just say the N-word, so you can just say thug and just get out.
Yeah.
The definition of thug is aggressive and loud, especially in a criminal. I don't know Angel Reese to have any criminal background. There's no reason to call her a thug. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Another lesson that we can take from this is the way Caitlin Clark took it. She took it like a champ. She took it like a champion, where she just was like, yeah, she won. What do y'all want me to do? She won. What is she supposed to have some backlash because this girl who's winning is in her face? No. Play better. Be better. Sorry that your team got blown out. She still scored 31 too. So, I mean, it's not like she just didn't show up to fucking play.
Right.
But she lost, and she took it on the chin, how you're supposed to take a loss. And no one's talking about that part, and I don't understand why.
I mean, and that was, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's what Dre wanted me to make sure I highlighted. He wanted to say that Caitlin was on Angel's side. She was like, yo, women can be competitive. Like, bro, what's wrong with that? Like, what the fuck is wrong? I lost, we lost, Iowa lost. If we celebrate, if she was like, she could have did way more, and I still would have had to take it because I lost.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so let's for reference, let's go back to those Warrior Cleveland games, bro. When Clay said that shit about, oh, I guess he just got his feelings hurt, and then they came back from 3-1, the shit didn't stop there, bro. Like, at the parade, LeBron, Ultimate Warrior shirt. At his Halloween party, graveyard cookies with Steph and Clay's numbers on them. Come on, bro. Like, nobody was like, oh, well, that's classless. That's thug mentality. The next year, when they won, Draymond T-shirt, like they going, like, come on, but we like that shit. But when it's women, and then it was a black woman, it's like, oh, that's classless. She needs to know. No, the fuck she don't. She need to be herself. That is a competitor. That is an athlete. That is somebody showing emotion, because when you play sports at the highest level, you show emotion. Good emotion back. If you playing like ass, you showing emotion. If you playing good, you showing emotion. When I used to dunk on Christian, I'm still showing emotion. It was in the fucking the backyard, but I'm showing emotion. Like, I'm not a thug just because I'm showing emotion. That shit. I ain't have to do a big flex on them. Christian 5'4".
Christian, how did you take this?
Pretty much like how it sounds like you guys all did. I think it's just the ladies involved in it have no problem with what would happen. It's everybody on the outside. Again, speaking about like playing sports, anybody that's watching this that has ever played sports, emotions involved. I mean, if you give a damn about what you're doing, you just, you're gonna show emotion. And to emphasize, she was saying, give her a ring. Nobody bashed Joe Burrow for doing it. Everybody said, give him his ring. He's a champion. It's the same thing. I think everybody's blown out of proportion. It was a young lady, successful, went at the highest level. She's emotional. She's happy. She worked her ass off to become a champion. She's a champion. Let her be excited. It's no different than if somebody got a promotion at a job and just, yes, happy. They're showing emotion.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just, hate to say it, but the color of her skin and her being a woman, they want to attack her instead of just saying, yeah, that woman, that lady, she deserved everything she got. She worked hard for it.
I'm willing to bet you a check, and I'm gonna let you go, Matt. Cause I know you've been sitting down there shaking your head, so I feel like you got some negative to say. It's the stash from this angle. It looks a little different.
What the fuck?
Let Iowa, let Caitlin would have scored 45 and they win, and she did that shit. Ain't nobody saying nothing. We ain't hearing about that right now.
Nope.
Right.
I guarantee if that's what happened, we wouldn't be talking about it on the show.
Instead of just everybody saying, great job, LSU ladies, great win, they want to bring something negative to it. I'm not hearing too much praise and win. That's all it should be.
And Matt kind of brought up an interesting point. I'm going to let you go, Matt. Then I'm going to bring it back.
There you go. Talk more about my interesting point. But so I have a minor issue with it, right? So my favorite players across my entire being on this earth have been emotional players. They put their emotions on their sleeve, and then you can connect with those players more because their personality, what they do. I've always enjoyed those players. Those have always been my favorite kinds of players. But so you're talking about Caitlin Clark, how she did the "You Can't See Me." She did that mid-game after scoring, right? The difference here is that Angel Reese, she did this multiple set, way after the buzzer, the game was over. And she followed Caitlin Clark around doing, give me my ring. But shouldn't in your mindset, be holy fuck, we just won the national championship. Where's my team at? Let me confetti, everything's coming down. Let me celebrate with them. Not follow this person around, say, give me my ring. She didn't hit a three in Caitlin's face and put her ahead and give me my ring.
The game went over yet. It was like last 30 seconds. The game went over yet.
Okay, well, no, she did. She kept going after the game.
No, she followed her around until the game was over.
I respect it either way. I'm gonna let you know. Fuck that celebrating shit. I know I won.
I'm gonna celebrate in the locker room after this.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that at no point did Caitlin I get it. I love what she did, but maybe not Caitlin. She did it to a whole different team. She didn't even do it to LSU. That's what's crazy about it. Is she took offense to something she did to a different team, beat the shit out of them, and then went to them. They were losing. She kept scoring. She got in foul trouble, got pulled out a couple times. She didn't go in foul trouble because those refs were terrible. There's a foul every possession. It was awful. But if she didn't go in foul trouble, she could have put up 40, 50 points that game. She sat out a big majority of that game. But, yeah, they won. But it's at the end when, you're up 15 or, it was a lot of points. There's no coming back. Why do that? Just go celebrate with your team. I get it. If you put that three up and you iced it, I forget what the girl's name was, but they were coming, Iowa was making a comeback and that girl hit a three. That girl could have did that and there would have been no problem in my eyes.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. I can.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Angel Reese, no offense, but what did she really do that game? She had a good game, but
she had 15 in the fourth.
That girl with the blonde hair, or I'm calling her hair, but she was lights out. She was shooting 100% through the third quarter. She should have been the one if she could have did whatever she wanted. She could have shot Caitlin Clark on the court. I wouldn't have cared. That's my problem is that Angel Reese, she helped the team, but she wasn't leading, she wasn't doing anything. But then at the end of the game, Come, like really, like
I can kind of see where you're coming from, Matt, but at the same time, I don't care if it's someone who only scored 3 points. They're excited with whatever their team did just win. They
Right.
still put in some effort, some work,
yes.
regardless of who it was. That's my thing with it. But what were you going to say, Tonio? Because we got to wrap it up and move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because Matt said she didn't do nothing, but she had 15, 10, and 5, Matt, with 3 steals and 1 block, no
Well,
turnover.
compared to what? All right, I said she wasn't doing nothing, but compared to I don't know that girl Carson.
Carson had
Yeah, Carson.
six more points.
She was the best player on the court that game.
No, but she only had 6 more points, but she hit a lot of those more clutch shots when Iowa was making a lot of that last comeback for sure. And then when they were up by like I think it was 7 or 8, she hit 2 threes in a row. I think it really just was like keeping it out of reach for them.
Yeah, it was that girl, and then was like the shorter, like bigger girl. I don't know her name, but she was draining threes too, like in clutch moments. I'm pretty sure she iced the game as well.
Well, what's her name? I definitely don't want to minimize that celebration. I don't want anybody. I get what you're saying, Matt, but fuck all that. Hey, I'm gonna let you know because we're not gonna act like Caitlin wasn't talking shit the whole tournament. She told that girl, hey, shut up, bitch. You down 15. Let's go. Hey, come on, man. Hey, I'm definitely respecting Angel, and it happened. She beat her ass. I'm gonna let you know I beat your ass too. If we play something, I'm gonna let you know. Right down the court, and then I'm gonna go put my champagne goggles on in the locker room and then celebrate. So yeah, I'm take you round 2. Right there. Boom. Ring me, bitch. That's what she should have said to her. She ain't hit her. That's all we need to be worried about. She ain't hit her. She ain't show no thug actions that they was saying that she would. Now she would have said, show my ring and stole off her ass. We got a different story. But we don't got that story right now. But
all right. So we do got to wrap it up because we got a hefty show today too.
Yeah, let's go.
But let's go from an unprecedented brick shots with Billy Antonio's talking about women's sports to another unprecedented thing I didn't think we would ever talk about in my lifetime. Bill Belichick being on the hot seat. Tonio, we'll go into you the first time again because it's your team.
Let a true fan talk.
Christian sent me this shit and I thought it was the dumbest take ever. I started to not write this shit in the note. Belichick never been on the hot seat. Next question.
I'm glad that you just wrapped it up with that. I got a couple of things to say to that, but I'm going to let Matt go.
I don't think he'll ever be on the hot seat, but obviously the news articles came out that Bill was shopping Mac Jones around because he was trying to find help other than Matt Patricia, and he got pissed at that. But Bill, you're a smart guy. You can see that Matt Patricia is a fucking idiot. He might be a rocket scientist, but he's the dumbest one on planet Earth. So, the dude's trying to find a way to win. He's not pulling a Russell Wilson and bringing in a whole crew, getting his own office. He was just trying to find any way to get back in the field and beat out Bailey Zappi and just be a better player. But I don't think Bill could coach until he's 95 as long as Robert Kraft's alive. So,
Christian, what you got?
Man, I think Bill, he's getting there. I ain't gonna say this year he's on the hot seat, but I think Kraft is he's tired of that shit. He's used to winning. He wants to win, and Belichick being stubborn and really putting Patricia as the offense coordinator. Come on.
Him and Joe Judge, it was like an offensive brain trust, really.
And that's even worse. Come on, you at the NFL level, you have 2 guys helping call play. Who's your offense coordinator?
What the fuck is that? I'm with you 100%. I do like the fact that Bill brought in Bill O'Brien, who was with Mac Jones at Alabama.
Right.
Now, I don't like Bill O'Brien's play calling necessarily. And he gets shit on as a coach because he traded D-Hop and traded everybody on the Texans. But he also made it to the playoffs for those 6 years or whatever, for the 5 years or whatever crazy number that is.
Yeah, I'm not a big Bill O'Brien fan either, but give him credit where it's due.
He made the playoffs with Houston. And now look at Houston without him, an absolute fucking –
and I'll even take him to, college, what he did at Penn State. It was crazy shit going on.
Well, he also took over after all that crazy shit was happening.
Right. A diminished roster.
Yeah, that's crazy to do. You bring that shit together and made them a winner, got a Rose Bowl win. I mean,
so Bill O'Brien,
he's surprised if he told me he was involved.
Say that again?
I said, hell, with a chin like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he told me he was involved.
Shut up. I do think Bill Belichick is on the hot seat this year, and the only reason I'm saying it is just the way shit has gone down. Bill Belichick has never been able to draft. Tom Brady has gotten him past these shitty wide receiver drafts, these taken players at at picks where, why are you taking them here? Now, again, Bill Belichick's smarter than I am. I'm not saying that he's fucking up, but there has been some fucked up picks. And the Brady situation with only giving him the year-to-year deal, and Robert Kraft was like, no, let's lock him up. I want him to play for us forever. And Bill was like, nah, that's not how we do it. Now, I do like that Bill stuck to his guns, and that's how he wanted to do it. Like, no, this is a Richard Seymour. This is a Ty Law situation. We're not hanging on to these motherfuckers for like that. So I just think the way Bill is doing it, like I said, with the Matt Patricia, Joe Judge weird offensive thing, I think we're starting to see Bill Belichick not unravel because he's still a great coach, but it's not – he's
not running the type ship. Like he
right, and it's kind of loosey-goosey business, and that's not what we expect from the Patriots.
Yeah.
Also, Bill Belichick didn't ever have a dinner with Tom Brady ever in their 18 years over there. Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft are also not tight and don't really talk unless it's for in the season for football stuff. Kraft, I think that burns people out.
Call him Billy.
Oh.
He don't even call him Bill. He call him Billy. They close behind the scenes.
Then why is all this shit popping up?
Because it's something for the media talking about, i.e., Christian and us.
Did Bill go to Robert Kraft's wedding?
Yeah,
no, he
didn't.
He probably went to his first wedding. Yeah. He's not going to go to him marrying a porn star.
Why not?
He's got
if you're his friend, you support him in whatever he does.
Bingo. If any of y'all marry a porn star, I'll have my reserves about it and be like, I don't think you should do that. But then if you do it anyway, I'm going to show up, hang out, do the Macarena.
Does Billy as Rob, my dog Rob, like to call him Billy? You think he you just say he stick to his guns. If he has his reserves, you think he gonna be like, fuck it, I'm going party at Rob? Hell no. He ain't supporting that shit.
I think New England and its fan base are in a situation they've never been in, and they really don't know how to react. They're scared on the inside.
And that's so that then let me raise one more question.
We're not turning into Detroit, so I'm okay.
Shit.
So
before Tom Brady, they were in fucking terrible situations. In the 90s, they were awful.
No, I'm not saying they never were, but they got spoiled in between those 20 years.
Before that, they were awful. They were wearing sacks on their head.
Matt, we went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Packers in the 90s, so shut your whore mouth.
They were awful. Yeah,
they were awful from 99 to 2000. Sorry, that 1 year they were bad.
But before that, how long was the franchise around? They were awful.
Okay, before they went to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, just because we weren't around to see it doesn't mean that they weren't awful before. There's old fans in Massachusetts. Now they're like,
get off the floor. You're talking down on the floor.
Okay, so then, all right, so that's why I want to ask this question. So I don't want to spend too long on this because we can move on from this one too. But so if Nick Saban, let's just say Nick Saban doesn't make it to an SEC championship game for another 3 years. This is a hypothetical. I'm just throwing it out there. So he missed this year's SEC championship game. He misses 3 more SEC championship games, doesn't get a natty, doesn't do anything. Is he not on the hot seat in Alabama because they expect to win a national championship every fucking year?
He will retire before he gets fired.
Ooh.
That's hard to say because that West is loaded. The SEC is loaded. So it is hard to get there, but AFC
not on the fucking hot seat, Billy. He the reason why coaches get put on the hot seat. You're not gonna put the coach on the hot seat.
I think we say that until we see it happen. So if he misses 3,
he's not fucking Ryan Day. Like he not. If Michigan beat Ohio,
we saw Bobby Bowden get fired basically.
That's what I'm saying. Bobby Bowden got fired.
Well, the shit can happen.
He ain't Nick Saban.
Bobby Bowden, he's not Nick Saban. He's not Bill Belichick.
Right, but winning is winning. I don't think anybody's gonna say
y'all talking about this like the Jordan and LeBron of the sports, bro. Like you're not. LeBron could be 47 if he want to be on your roster. Ain't nobody gonna be like, he old. They still gonna bring him on the roster.
literally Jordan on the Wizards. Like
Exactly.
fuck, yeah, we'll
Right.
take him.
Nobody else wanted him. He went to the Wizards.
I'm sure he could have went.
Somebody picked him up. Bro,
He could have went.
no,
He
his
had many
contract-
options,
his
and he
contract
chose
with
the
the
Wizards. Come on.
No,
Bro,
his
like,
contract
GM
with the
player.
Wizards because he got to buy into the ownership group.
Yeah, he was like, yeah,
That's why.
but he could have went anywhere he wanted.
Bruh, nobody is firing the GOAT of college football, and nobody is firing potentially the GOAT of NFL football.
If Alabama, the state of Alabama, ever heard Nick Saban's on the hot seat, racism's back in full effect. There's fucking people with pitchforks. It's going back to the 1800s. Like
Those are the ones that are going to say he should be on the hot seat because they want to be in the national title. So it's going to be those Alabama fans that say, "Oh no, we got to get a change because this ain't our standard." And hell, he's going to be 80 in like 5 years.
Find out Nick Saban got fired. There's going to be a fucking civil war again.
But it's going to be some young hot coach that's coming up that Alabama's going to want to get.
Who?
I don't know who it is right now, but somebody.
See, this hypothetical shit Billy got you thinking stupid. This shit is not happening. And I don't know why Billy asked the question. Nick Saban would never be fired, bro. Nick Saban will retire out as a head coach of Alabama.
He's like 73 right now. He's got like
for example,
4 more years. So they're not going to get fired. He's not going to get fired. He's going to retire.
He's not going to retire.
They're going to be like, damn.
Who would ever said Tom Brady's going to leave the Patriots or Peyton Manning's going to leave Indy?
I said it. We knew that he was going to leave. We wasn't getting no fucking wide receiver for 20 years, Christian.
Peyton left Indy because he broke his neck and they didn't think he could play again. That's why he left.
That's what we're saying. Scenarios with Saban, he loses games. If he started losing games, they're going to be like, okay, well.
No, but they're not going to do that.
It's not going to happen, bro.
If Peyton never hurt his neck, Jim Irsay would have kept him.
We always going to get 25.
Alabama's not going to sit there and be okay with not going to the SEC title and say,
they're
well,
what you without Nick Saban. That's the thing.
But you've got to move on sometime.
They're going to go get fucking Les Miles or some shit. They're going to go get
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it will happen in a year or two, but as the years go on, there's going to be a younger coach coming up ready to get a higher job.
They're not getting fired. That's it. Billy know that. You know that. Matt and me know that. They not getting fired.
Well, I don't think he'll have a slump like that to where he's not winning.
That's why the hypothetical was asked.
Right.
Is just to see
don't
the
ask no dumbass shit like that, Billy.
Billy, I'm with you on the hypothetical.
Me and Antonio's
Thank you, Christian.
Right side of the chat.
Anyway, let's move on from one Alabama GOAT to someone who just is a guy at Alabama, Bryce Young.
Alabama Southern Mississippi University.
That's the guy.
He's just a guy. Yeah.
Heisman winner, just a guy. That's so disrespectful.
He's just a guy at Alabama. How many Heisman winners does Alabama have? A fuck ton. I don't care. Anyway,
he is in a crowded room at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So
Mark
anyway,
Ingram is probably just a guy at this point.
So in the notes, it said Bryce Young is the smartest QB in the draft, and I didn't understand the smartest thing.
I didn't. He just scored the highest on the
Wonderlic,
the S2 cognitive. The
Wonderlic.
No, not the Wonderlic. This is a test for quarterbacks. So like
the mental processing exam.
So like 4 squares will show up, but they'll be like, which one's different, and you have to hit it, and the faster you hit it, the better you do. So it's like,
we knew that about Bryce Young going into this.
So it's almost like a concussion test, but it tests like how fast you can react to it.
It just measures how they process and make split decisions.
Oh yeah, Bryce Young probably wiped the floor with everybody in this draft.
And last year, Billy, trick question. Do you know who was number 1 last year?
No.
Just take a guess.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy was the smartest quarterback last year.
Never mind. Bryce Young is going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
It's not like smartest. It's like fastest.
Yeah, it's just making decisions on the field, which, I mean, that's what you are.
Well, if that's the case, it's over with. Bryce Young is the best quarterback in the draft, and that's who Carolina needs to take at number 1.
When I saw that earlier today, I was like, Billy had to have seen this and was like, that's why he was so high on Brock Purdy and just wasn't telling anybody.
I just saw the film. That's awesome. But now that I know that, Bryce Young is going to be the best QB in this draft. Easy.
Let's move on from Alabama to LSU. Billy. Billy. there's been some rumors because y'all got a lot of shit going on over there in Baltimore. But if there is one way to get Lamar to be like, I'll take a little less money, it's to go out there and get him a receiver that's not a number 3, according to Christian in the corner. Odell to the Ravens because as we had in the notes earlier, but we kind of took it off because we beat the Bush last year. The Jets and the Packers not getting this deal done no time soon, so the Jets are losing out on because Odell I feel like he was locked down in New York, but now Aaron not going there.
Aaron's still doing the dumb. Well, I guess it's really not his problem. It's Green Bay.
I think it's a little bit of Aaron wanting to just troll the league until August and be like, I'm staying in Green Bay. Yep, that's Zach Wilson's great uncle or something. Gotta be. Zach, I'm gonna make sure you start next year. I got you. So what you think, Billy? Y'all can pull Odell down there to Baltimore?
So that's the thing is, so the Ravens, like we're acting like the Ravens haven't been trying to get players for Lamar. Like they've been trying, but it just has not been working out. And that's the thing Eric DeCosta said, and then everybody shit on him. And it just hasn't really worked out for them to do that. Now I think if we get an Odell, maybe that's a way to show Lamar, like, hey, dude, we'll get these prime receivers for you so you don't have to do this. But we have to see how the offense is going to be without a Greg Roman running it. I want to see an offense with Lamar is a primary thrower of the football. Because in Greg Roman's offense, regardless of Lamar's passing numbers, which I hate getting into with people because they act like he doesn't do anything because he doesn't have 4,500 yards every year. But I think the receivers are at a less needed position in that type of offense. So that's why the tight ends are much more frequently used. That's why all that stuff going. But if you have Odell, is he going to get frustrated if he's not getting the ball whenever he needs the ball? Kind of like how we saw in Cleveland.
I see everybody tries to dead that little LA stint. We seen the Ram stint, like the little stint. We seen Odell not get frustrated when he was wide open and what's the boy? What's the
Stafford?
No, the other wide receiver. When Cooper Kupp was getting all of cat passes, Stafford was, doing his thing. We seen a more mature Odell knowing like, yo, you know what? I've been injured a couple of times. I need to prove myself that I am a number 1 again. If I can get to the number 1 level and that I'm not a number 3, according to Christian.
Definitely number 1.
Yeah, we don't know that though. We ain't seen him at full health because
that's his problem. He can't stay healthy. So
if you go back to that Super Bowl, if the turf don't trip him up, Odell Beckham is your MVP of that game because
But that don't mean you're number 1 just because you had a good game.
I mean, it don't mean you number 3 neither. But you said
he would be number 2 behind Cooper Kupp.
Huh?
He'd still be a number 2 behind Cooper Kupp.
I mean, he was gonna leave LA, so.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so
in Baltimore, he'll be the number 1.
He'll be a number 1.
Yeah.
Christian. So what now, Christian? He's not your number 3 that you said, Christian. Right?
Let me change that. He's a number 2.
Stop with Billy. They said he was
a number 3. He's a number 2. Definitely not number 1. I'll give him a number 2.
But if he goes to Baltimore, he would definitely be the number 1. There's no argument behind that.
But that receiving core is
doo-doo.
It don't matter. He'll still be a number 1, so you have to call him a number 1, Christian. And then again, you lose.
I just want to lean towards Christian's first take he ever had on the show is that after Odell's first ACL injury, he came back. He was good, but he was in a terrible situation in Cleveland. But then he went to LA, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's Odell. Like, Odell is back. But now he's tore his ACL twice. Have we ever seen a number 1 wide receiver where we're like, top 5 wide receiver ever tear their ACL twice and come back? I don't think we've ever seen it for a wide receiver.
Only did it with a broken fucking leg. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah, well, T.O., he's a different
breed. He ain't no T.O.
T.O.'s a different breed. Odell's a different breed. But, like, a broken bone, I don't know, like, a bone can heal, but, like, your muscles on running and cutting, like, ACL's a pretty big deal on cutting and, in and out of the route.
Tendon. It's not even a muscle, it's a tendon. That's what's scary about it.
Yeah. So that's like stability in your leg. So you can take a cut in your knees.
And just how reliable is Odell? I mean, are you going to get 16 games out of him? Highly unlikely.
$20 million a year, that's so much fucking money. And then if you're paying him $20 million a year for 3 seasons, what does that look like for Lamar's contract? That's another big thing.
Yeah.
What I want to get to is I don't think it's about reliability. Does he have his speed anymore? Because what's that running
Well,
back?
he had some workouts. He
ACL.
still got some quickness and speed.
Yeah, well, and like without pads and just
Willis had a pretty good career after those ACL.
Yeah, no, but he had 3 or 4. But was he the same running back he was before, where he was busting runs wide open?
No, definitely wasn't.
He had to become a physical running back. Get his yards the hard way. But like a wide receiver, you can't really do that unless you're Anquan Bolton. So
good point.
I say he's a number 2.
So
also, I don't think Lamar would be like, fuck, this dude's just tore his ACL twice in the last like 4 years. Fuck am I gonna do going back to Baltimore? They don't want me. And now they just gave me this fucking hobbled wide receiver.
Fuck that. It's not that. And again, man, it's not that Baltimore doesn't want him. They don't want to pay the guaranteed money that he's asking for, allegedly.
Well, in his mind, they're like, they don't want me.
Good point. Okay, that's fair. I do think the fucking Brown, like, it's hard. Like, does Lamar deserve, and this is what I was talking about on one of our shorts on Facebook, but does Lamar deserve a lot of money? Absolutely. Does he deserve more than Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins? Absolutely. Does he deserve more than Russell Wilson? I would still say no, because Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl. Again, that was on a cheap contract, so it's kind of one of those things. But
Russell Wilson's defense won the Super Bowl.
They absolutely did. But he's a Super Bowl champion. It's harder to kind of do all that stuff.
I get it.
And Lamar has still steadily, and I will say this forever, no one talks about Lamar, has always said, I need to be better. I want to help this team win a Super Bowl. That's what he said from draft day.
Yeah, but no one watches Baltimore to see that.
He said it on the draft. You don't have to watch Baltimore. He said it on the draft.
I tell you one thing that Lamar got that Russell don't.
What's that?
MVP.
An MVP, absolutely, yeah.
Well,
that's because he's over 6 foot.
This is what I want to say. I mean, the MVP is cool and all, but y'all guys, we gotta remember that's 3 years ago.
I don't care, bro. Like,
but that's the problem. You don't care. Would it be okay? Would it be okay if you were at work and somebody said, we're going to give this guy a raise over you because he was good 3 years ago? He did his job well. Bro, no, that doesn't make sense.
I'm on Christian's side. Cam Newton won an MVP. He hasn't done it since then.
But Aaron Rodgers won MVP every year.
But this is my thing, though. But Rodgers not going to get a big payday.
He won it and then won it again.
Who?
But
Aaron Rodgers.
But if you look at Lamar's stats, they've gone down from his MVP year. Now, I'm not saying Lamar shouldn't get paid. Yes, he should get paid. What he's asking for, no, he shouldn't get paid. But everybody's saying that's the standard now, but he shouldn't get paid that. One, his stats are worse. Two, what is he winning? I mean, he's gifted, but he's not winning you playoff games. He's not taking.
He's won up a playoff game.
Well, I mean, he won one playoff game. He lost, what is it, 3? 2.
Yeah.
3 playoff games. So he's got a losing record in the postseason. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl, and his MVP was 3 years ago, and his stats are steady going down. So what he's asking, I would agree, as Baltimore being a good organization, no, we're not going to pay you this. Go to the market, see what's out there. You see there's nothing, so you might as well come on back because nobody else sees you for what you see yourself for.
I'm on Baltimore's side here.
Yeah.
The only stipulation is don't give him a fully guaranteed contract. Give him the only stipulation in that contract is if you play more than 15 games that season, whatever your salary is, that's fully guaranteed. You continue to do that, then you get that fully guaranteed contract by playing those many games. But if you're not playing 5 games a year, that hurts a team a lot.
Yeah.
You may lose games, and then your backup comes in, and then they're gonna lose games.
I'm with Lamar. Get guaranteed money. Because you get hurt, then you definitely watch. You're not getting no paper.
So Tonio,
I'm just saying a fully guaranteed contract. We've seen it 2 times, only 2 times. Look at in number 1, the team that just recently did it is the fucking Browns, and look how well that organization has ran. It's not ran well. And the Ravens, who have been a well-ran organization, let's talk about. He asked for a trade on March 2nd. We didn't find out till 23 days after that he already requested a trade. That shows you how great that organization is.
Because they don't let shit get out.
But you look at the Browns, who just, Deshaun Watson, he's going to miss 12 games, no big deal. Here's all this fucking guaranteed money. That's not a good fucking organizational move. And I'm not saying I'm on the owner's side or whatever because they make billions of fucking dollars. The players also make a lot of money, but the players should try to get as much money as they humanly possibly can.
Yeah.
But if that's not what they're going to give you, then you got to fucking take your L where it is because they're not going to give you that fully guaranteed money.
I'm not saying like give Lamar fucking $12 if he plays 3 games, and then like, oh, sorry, you missed out on $200 million.
Yeah.
No, like have 3/4 of it fully guaranteed. Like, yeah, we're gonna give you a lot of money. You earned it, but then to get the rest of this money, you have to hit this many games over the course of this contract.
So, in other words, give them incentives to hit.
No, really give them an incentive to play and not take a shit and miss a half of a game because you're in there blowing up a toilet.
I agree.
What the fuck?
So he should get, and that's the thing I think a lot of people misconstrue, he should get more guaranteed than Kyler Murray got, absolutely. Yeah. But the entire contract should not be fully guaranteed. It shouldn't.
I don't think so.
You play more than 14 games, it's yours.
Because then,
so we going off. Christian said 3 years ago. That's what we going off of. His numbers dropped. We ain't seen Watson play, and he got fully guaranteed. I know.
Right, that's crazy.
I know you said
it's not a good move.
Yeah, but it happened, so we can't say it
right, but because it happened, you don't say, "Hey, we made a dumbass choice, so I'm going to make a dumbass choice." They made a dumbass choice, and let them be sorry. I'm going to keep moving smart and be relevant.
Yes or no? Deshaun's stats the same as they was 3 years ago when he wasn't winning MVP.
No.
All right, that's all I want. Let's move on.
But we've got 2 different teams we're talking about.
Let's move on. Y'all just made my point. Y'all
a shitty ran Texans organization that has been asked for literally the duration of that franchise also.
Aaron Foster is pretty good.
Nah, that motherfucker's crazy now.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go on to our last NFL topic before we get into the NBA. I'm running a little long. John Elway gets let go from Denver. Fucking finally. It's about
Didn't get let go. His contract just
wasn't renewed.
So we got let go because they didn't want him a fucking around.
Huh? Maybe he didn't want to resign. Maybe he's like, I'm fucking old. I'm out.
I think Elway wanted to be there till he died.
And then he's like, no, fucking Russell Wilson again? I did it, but I'm out.
No. I love Denver moving. I hate the Broncos as an organization. I hate them so much. But them getting rid of Elway, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. This dude brought in Peyton Manning and won a Super Bowl. Everybody's thinking, oh, he's the fucking best. Drafts all these quarterbacks that fucking blow donkey dicks.
Paxton Lynch is all we need to say.
But that man could draft defense, which makes almost no sense because he was a quarterback. He could draft some fucking defense.
No, his team helped him draft that defense. I don't give a fuck. No.
You sound like a fuck.
Were you in the war room?
What's that?
Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they called me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just to double check on what I had going on. They asked me about my mocks.
They called you William. You had to correct
What did they think about those mocks?
They thought they were all right.
I mean,
dude, for just some guy, I do pretty okay for my mocks. You'll see.
But and that's the thing about Elway. Elway didn't even bring over Russ. That was a new idiot.
Yeah.
That was George Patton. So they didn't leave.
I'm sure he probably had a little bit something to do with it.
I mean,
that's the thing.
He's been a consultant since 2021.
You said what?
Elway been a consultant for them since 2021.
Yeah, because he sucks at managing a team. Look at what John Lynch has been doing in fucking San Francisco.
A hell of a job.
Crushing it. And then John Elway.
Well, I seen a photo of John Elway today. He's old and decrepit now. It's like basically Joe Biden out there.
Is he? Is he looking old and rough?
His face was sagging down. He had like a neck vagina going on. It was bad.
A neck vagina.
Hey, his teeth look great though.
Oh, of course.
Just throwing it out there. But yeah, so how did y'all take the John Lynch getting out of there? Are y'all
John Elway?
I mean, he said it himself. He getting older, bro. And Matt, by the way, Matt just described him. Shit, he need to take care of something other than football, and that's himself. So I ain't mad at it. I can care less about the Broncos.
He looks worse than Joe Namath right now.
Damn.
Joe Namath's 20 years older.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Doing those AARP commercials.
Oh, seeing him at 2 a.m. when you wake up from a nap.
Hell yeah. All right, let's move on to the NBA, man. This show, we have been crushing this show. This has been an amazing fucking show, I think. But Christian, we'll go to you first. Are the Lakers becoming for real?
I think so. I kind of mixed emotions. This is where I think they're moving in the right direction, but I don't know, is it sustainable? I don't believe so. I think LeBron, he's old. I mean, you can't play him 40 minutes, 35 plus a game. And just wear and tear him down. Anthony Davis, we already know he already isn't playing tonight. I just don't think he can stay healthy long enough. I think this is some
playing tonight. He is playing. Shut up.
AD's playing tonight.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought he wasn't playing.
I was talking to one of my buddies also, and he was like, "No, AD got hurt again." And I'm like, "No, he didn't. He's playing right now."
Yeah,
but
the other day in the group chat, AD literally broke his ankle and was on the fucking ground on his back for 3 possessions when I was watching the Lakers game. And then he got up, they drug him off the court. Then he went right back to the scores box and went right back in. He was
that tells you
possessions.
AD is
they went up and down the court twice, and he was just laying there holding his ankle, rocking. Gets up and he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." Gets back in the game and dunked on somebody. What the fuck?
In that game that Matt is talking about, AD went for 38 and 16. So
right, but how long would you put your money on it that he's gonna be healthy throughout the playoffs?
I will.
Okay, not too good with your money, I see.
The whole playoffs?
First of all, your first take is LeBron's old and he can't.
He is. So you like that they play him 36, 37 minutes a game?
He wanted. He said it in an interview.
I don't care if he wanted. Can his body handle that shit?
If you're spending $5 million on your body, you should be able to handle 37 minutes a day.
No matter your age.
He took a month off, Christian. He said he feel great. He lost 12 pounds.
He just said the other day he wasn't sure if he was going to play today because he's not sure about his foot. He's telling you he can't.
Oh my God! Where the fuck do you be listening? You watching Telemundo and shit. You don't. You need to watch some shit in English. Bron said I'm gonna be available.
Okay, I'll send you the quote because I'm 100%. I know what I'm talking about.
Just last night, after he willed them to win in OT, he said, "Yeah, I'll play." He said it. It was LeBron.
We have 18 points though?
And he just said, Sunday night was it? And he was like, yeah, it depends on how my foot feels in the morning. So shit, what was that last night?
You said Sunday. That'd be Monday.
See, hey, you drinking the tea with Billy.
Christian gets his news from that website that said Cam Newton signed with Detroit.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But no, really, it was First Take that said it. So
First Take said what? That Cam Newton signed with Detroit?
I couldn't take no more of it. This man is just.
Did you mute?
Oh, you muted him.
Skip Christian.
No, it was First Take that said he said that. I mean, unless you telling me that they ain't got their facts right.
Yeah, because they're fucking stupid. They just say whatever they want.
That's not the actual sports commentary announced news channel. They just say shit on that.
Yeah.
Anywho, Matt,
That's
how do you feel about the Lakers? Let's go to another Michigan man and see if you can get any worse or better than what Christian just said. God,
Or to get worse than that. I love you, Christian, though.
Hit me up, man.
I think depending on how fast Andrew Wiggins comes back determines the Lakers' fate.
I like that answer.
If he can come back for the last, 4 or 5 games left?
Yeah.
It's 2 games left.
For Golden State, where they have the same record unless it's changed in the last day or two.
It don't matter about Golden State and them record because the Lakers own the tiebreaker over Golden State. So it don't matter.
Yeah,
Nobody's saying a meeting in the playoffs.
Oh no, they won't play each other first either way. If they had to go to the play-in, they would, but they would be literally 6 and 7.
Yeah, they could meet each other in.
I mean, they wouldn't. I mean, if the Lakers win, they would play.
Denver. No, Sacramento.
Well, all I'm saying is that
the Warriors would play Phoenix. I don't think they get Phoenix.
Neither of you got what I was saying.
No, I get what you're saying. I don't
think you do. So the Warriors, they get Andrew Wiggins back. They are going to probably win out. You know, he's not played for 2 months, thinking whatever would you say that one show that his kids aren't his kids, so his best friend's kids, whatever that wild shit was? Hopefully he's gotten that figured out. Maybe he's got a little extra motivation if they're not his kids. If they are his kids, I hope so. But if not, he's got some motivation coming back. And then, Lakers, can you rely on not really? I'm not saying LeBron's playing too many minutes. He's playing just a many. Like, he spends way too much money on his body to not play that many minutes. But if he stays healthy the last 5 games or however many games, and then AD depends on how many times he wants to roll his ankle the next few games, it could play into it. So,
what you got, Billy? Before I go, or I can go.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if we've seen AD just be a fucking dog and just crush it on the basketball court when he's healthy. Those injuries do scare me in the playoffs. I wonder if the Lakers, because a lot of us in the media are saying we like the Lakers to beat Denver, we like them to beat Sacramento, maybe even Memphis, because of LeBron and AD thing. But if AD's down, they're not winning anything in the playoffs. And I think if you go up, let's say it's 2-0 on whoever it is. Let's just hypotheticals. Again, I'm a big fan of hypotheticals. But if the Lakers are up 2-0 on insert any team, I think you got to have AD chill for a second and let LeBron play his 38 and get a dub without AD playing.
Is it my go?
No, because you're being an asshole for no reason.
I'm not being an asshole. These are terrible takes. How can y'all not see what the rest of the world is seeing, including NBA players? The Lakers are now the scariest team in the West.
They're not, because AD can get hurt at any second of any time.
Anybody can get hurt at any second.
He's fragile than anybody else in the NBA.
Is he? Is he, Billy? Did we not just see? I mean, Christian, did we not just see fucking KD break his shit and be out for like a year and then come back in the playoffs?
KD was what, a year? He was gone for what? 3
I will
years?
say
Let me know
that
another
he
player
is
that has a nickname.
less fragile than Zion. I'll say that.
Bro, KD is fragile. Y'all not gonna act like KD and tear his shit.
You're not gonna act like you believe in KD being healthy this whole season. You just
Bro, so we not gonna say, because AD, when he get hurt, he still play through the game. We not gonna say that KD just 2 weeks ago was in warm-ups and couldn't play because he got hurt.
how many times can you say that about AD? He just plays through. He's just tough as nails.
I ain't calling him. What are you doing, man? What is this?
I said that's expected when you're built like this remote at 7 foot tall. You're gonna get hurt. AD isn't built like KD. He has mass to him.
No,
he's
he
a
don't.
fucking normal human being that's tall.
No, he don't, man. AD.
I guarantee AD has 50 pounds on him.
Maybe we can Google it.
Cornell, you got to Google it because I'm on IG Live.
No, you're not. Your live stopped a while ago.
I got it.
Oh shit, it did.
Either way, let's not act like he the most fragile. Bro, the whole Suns starting big three was out at the same time, Christian. Over for like 2-3 weeks.
That don't mean they're fragile. That just mean it was a
Bro, what?
How often do they get hurt? How often does he get hurt?
Bro, KD was getting hurt every year. What are we talking about? KD has the best build in the NBA. We said that. We said that on the show.
That's what I'm saying right now, and you're arguing against it.
I said KD, not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said
I'm
KD
agreeing
is going
with
to get
you.
hurt.
It's the idiots on whatever.
So y'all are saying KD is more fragile than AD?
Bro, AD ain't been out no whole season. Christian, KD had.
What does that have to do with?
Are y'all? Is that not registering?
KD gets hurt more frequently. KD just had a freak injury where he was out a season. That's what we're saying.
We're talking about. So y'all are talking about one set of injuries for one season. Think about AD's career. He's always hurt. AD's career. KD, this shit just started like the last 3 seasons.
He had that thing in OKC also.
Exactly.
Right, but it wasn't consistent like Davis.
That one freak weird foot incident.
Right. Davis is hurt all the time, and it's something different every time. His knee, his back, his shoulder, his ankle.
He has 2 nicknames for being hurt.
Yeah. but Anthony Davis only has 15 more pounds on KD, and I don't know if that
Exactly. Told you.
I don't know what is worse.
Come on, man.
KD is built like a rail, and Anthony Davis is a big dude. How the fuck is that possible? Is KD just jacked, solid muscle, and Anthony Davis is flubber? Like, how is that even possible?
It's the naps on KD head. Also, KD been hurt consistently since November the 8th, 2017, Christian, till just recently.
And AD's been consistently hurt since he made it to the NBA.
KD's only hurt when he has to play the Warriors since he left.
It don't matter. Either way, like I said, they the scariest. Don't nobody want to play the Lakers in the Western Conference.
I agree with that. We're not arguing that.
Jump mad at my tape.
No, because it's like I'm not saying. I'm saying, do you think?
The fuck?
Did you think?
My bad. I forgot you could see me.
Do you not think? See, now when we're on the phone, now I'm just worried about what you're doing. But fucking, do you not think that if the Lakers don't have AD, that they're gonna still beat Sacramento, Denver, Memphis, Golden State without AD?
I'm not an idiot, Billy. I know they need AD, but AD has not shown us signs of, hey, I'm gonna be a bitch. And Billy, hey, let's be for real. After they made the playoffs in the bubble, right? Who became the better player for the rest of the
AD, because he had time to heal.
No, Billy. I ain't talking about that. I'm saying, like, who took over in those playoffs to win Finals MVP for the fourth time? LeBron, bro. LeBron.
But AD was still playing.
Yeah,
he was available.
So that's what I'm saying. You saying, hey, rest AD and let LeBron take over. That you don't think they can win like that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said.
Yeah, but you said that wasn't scary because that was the idiot below you that said, "Oh, he's 49 and he can't."
What? No, what I was saying was I didn't say they had a scary team and they can't win.
I'm just saying, is everyone?
What?
I'm saying, what are the chances that both of them are healthy? That's what I'm saying.
They playing now, Chris. You act like the playoffs start in 3 months. The playoffs start in 2 weeks.
You act like the playoffs are one game.
It's time for Anthony Davis to not have an injury.
What the fuck? But this is what I'm saying. The playoffs are more than one game, right?
It is more than one game.
And I'm saying, how long do you think it's going to be until
back-to-backs, Christian? If they play in LA, if they play in Cali,
every other day they're going to be playing. And you think they're going to be sustainable? AD's not going to get hurt.
Is every other day a back-to-back, or is it every other day?
Every other day ain't back-to-back.
Okay, I think in the first round there's back-to-backs for the first 2 games, day off.
No, that's not a back-to-back. That's every other day.
No, I'm saying there's a back-to-back in the first round.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, I don't think so, Billy.
Yes. The Eastern and Western Conference Finals are when they start no back-to-backs.
Better case of failure.
That's even worse. Yes. Back-to-back. Hell, AD just came out and said, I ain't played back-to-back in a while. That's why he was skeptical about playing tonight.
He playing back-to-back now.
But I'm saying, Chris, I know he's playing.
Christian, your argument, I get what you're saying, but at playoff time, they done made it.
But that's what I'm saying. How in the playoffs, how long do you think it's going to last that they don't get hurt?
I just need them for.
So the argument is just, can they make it to the playoffs? Can they make it through the playoffs?
Your argument, because you wrote the notes, are they for real? And then you just diminished everything. So I guess they not because of injuries.
Well, I was just asking, are they for real? Yes or no? I didn't.
And when I said they was the scariest team in the West, AD his bones are brittle and he gets hurt the most. And LeBron's 72 and in a nursing home.
So let's wrap up the Lakers topic just real fast. So Christian, and it's a yes or no. Are the Lakers gonna be scary in the West if healthy?
If healthy.
Matt.
No.
Okay, now you're crazy. See, now we're gonna have to go in for another 15 minutes on
Probably
that.
not. Matt's a Piston fan. I'll let it slide.
All right, the Lakers are scary if healthy in the playoffs. Let's go on to a team that is not scary and probably not even going to make the playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks. They made that Kyrie trade. Me and Antonio both were kind of – I like the trade. I like that Dallas is trying to do something. But I think I'm starting to realize, and maybe y'all are too, that Luka might be just a difficult guy to fucking play with. Matt. Let's go to Matt first, Antonio, if that's cool.
I would say yes, because we really haven't heard shit out of Kyrie other than him just going out performing, and then it's Luka at the end of the game like, fuck, I want Jalen Brunson back. Like, that's like all we've heard, or like Luka's like, it sucks losing. Like, we just heard Luka talking, and then the only thing we've heard from Kyrie in Dallas is he didn't take what's his name from Memphis's jersey. That's all we've heard.
Yeah.
I think Luka's the problem, dude. I think Luka sucks. I don't know why he's getting like he's a great offensive player. He's I'd say worse than James Harden on defense, and that's saying something. James Harden will kind of try. Luka doesn't even remotely give a fuck about what's happening on the defensive end. And I think Luka's the real problem in Dallas. And I think it's hard to pay Luka what they're gonna pay him and keep anybody around that's gonna help this team win any games.
What you got, Christian?
Antonio sent me a message that shut the up on all my takes, so I'm gonna keep it quiet. No, really, yeah, Luka has got to be a problem. I think him and Kyrie just isn't a good pairing. Two, that they're great on offense, but neither one of them bring anything to defense. And it's just the whole backcourt. You're not getting any defensive presence, and it's just not it's not clicking.
In the West, when you have De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant,
can't stop none of them.
You got to have somebody back there to at least try.
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like,
because they're putting up points. They just can't stop anybody.
And that's where I heard trading Spencer Dinwiddie is because he could cover the 1 through 3, and now they've got Luka, who should probably realistically be covering a 4, but you have him on a 2 or a 3, and he gets cooked. Like on offense, he can barely get out of their way, and he's trying to get out of their way, but he still scores. But on defense, he's trying to stay in their way, and he can't stay in their way. So.
I also want to throw in the argument for NBA 2K. Luka's defense is actually really good on 2K, and I don't understand why.
You have to get him up to a higher rating.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. My player cannot get around Luka, and I know that I'm faster than him. I don't understand it just really upsets me because I know he's shitty in real life. Like, what are we doing here? You should be able to like have shitty defensive ratings, but still be like a 95 overall.
So I don't think I said nothing. Real quick.
So what's on you?
I don't think I said nothing. But real quick, I think me and Billy, y'all was here too. I think we said that this trade was gonna be bad. And I think it was mainly bad for Kyrie because Kyrie get blamed for everything wherever he go. Christian, you said that earlier. Didn't you say that? Outside of playing with LeBron, he the problem? You didn't say that?
I don't think so. I just said he didn't have success. I said he didn't have success. I didn't say he was the problem.
You say he was problematic everywhere he went.
I did not. I know.
Yes, you did.
I thought he was problematic. After the show, we gotta go back and watch it. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't use problematic.
It was the pre-show.
Rewind the tapes.
We got to. Hey, flag on the play. Penalty on y'all. Come on.
Either way, bro.
I'm challenging that.
Christian, that's what you said, dude.
You said it. But
we'll go back and look.
Either way, so I think it's easier to blame Kyrie like the media been doing. Even though, like Matt said, Kyrie just ain't take Dylan Brooks' jersey. That's the only thing he done said. He don't say nothing. He done like he almost nervous to talk to the media how he feel because of shit. He gonna get in trouble more. I'm starting to dislike Luka, like Billy. I just because I can't take away from. Actually, I don't get it. He like slow as fuck, but he still make everything on offense a lot. He can play offensively. But to say when you got Kyrie there, to say, yeah, I miss Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson was taking a back seat to you and then have a problem with that, and you brought in another superstar. Jalen Brunson's not a superstar. Kyrie is a superstar. Kyrie is a ball dominant superstar. Kyrie is a better finisher at the rim than Luka will ever be. Kyrie is slightly better on defense. It don't take much to be better on defense than Luka. Like Billy said, Luka is the biggest superstar defensive liability we've ever seen in the league, ever. And we seen Dirk get old and still could, get a block or something, or
he'll get in the way
or foul. Like
so I never played basketball, but I don't understand how you're not even getting in the way of these dudes. Am I like missing something? Like
I mean, once you get off balance, only thing you can do is foul, but Luka won't do that prior to and you can't foul out as a superstar because they need you. So it's like, he blew by me. What
but you're not even getting in the way. Like, I'm not saying, because if you're trying to play defense, you ain't got to get your arms up and do all that shit. Like,
you got to understand now.
Stand there.
Every team except for whenever we watch LeBron play, they get whistles crazy. Like, it's a whistle for breathing too hard on a dude. Like, so
they stay on those whistles.
You can't hand check, like you can't do none of that no more. So it's like it's really honestly, I feel sorry for defenders, like people that can actually defend, because they can play perfect defense, be squared up and everything, and still like get the offensive player getting that whistle unless they LeBron. So I think it's Luka's fault. I think it's Mark Cuban's fault for not telling Luka, like, hey, this is the direction we're going to go with. Because you got to think, Luka also is sloppy as fuck. He ain't in shape, so he don't play but like 8 minutes a quarter.
Yeah.
Kyrie in shape, so he can play that. And the scenario is, all right, bet. Luka sitting out to like minute 7 in the fourth. If Kyrie in and Kyrie get to cooking, do you stop Kyrie from cooking? Nah, you don't. But Luka,
I don't think Jason Kidd would.
Luka is ball dominant. So, like I said, two ball dominant people can't work together. LeBron was just a maestro at making that work, because Kyrie, you remember it was one stint where Kyrie went like 2-3 games, 0 assists. And LeBron said, no, we're gonna get him better than that. And Kyrie didn't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
Luka ain't got that juice. Luka can't go up to him, hey, I'm better than you. Nah. Because it's Luka team, but Luka ain't got no. What Luka got? He went to the Western Conference Finals. He, as a leader, he a better leader than Kyrie, because he led the team by himself to the Western Conference Final, but he don't got no ring, like you said.
We also had Jalen Brunson getting him 35.
Yeah, I mean, but Jalen Brunson's playing defense too, and like Matt said, once they traded Spencer Dinwiddie, who the fuck guarded anything over there? We said that. So this team was set up to be terrible, but I don't know. I didn't expect for the fall off to be this bad from 4 to 11 is crazy. But speaking of moving on, who y'all got for MVP, man? I think myself, I'm gonna go. I think Embiid might have closed it out with that 50 ball against the Celtics, scoring half of the team's points when everybody else was looking shitty.
Yeah.
Even though I'll give it to the Celtics, keeping it close with no Jaylen Brown, that's an automatic 26 points right there.
Yeah.
But I got Joel, and that's the only reason why is because Joker ain't played that much. He had got a little injury or something, so he ain't been playing that much. Who you got, Matt?
I'm gonna say
can't be a Piston.
Damn, fuck. Jaden Ivey can't win fucking MVP.
Nah.
Well, he just scored 30 tonight, so I mean he might, but just because you said he put up the 50 ball, and then I feel like you can't go 3-peat. Like, I mean you can, but like the voters at that point, they're in autopilot and they're like, really? Like, are you fucking serious? 3 times in a row? I feel like it's gonna be a year, and then fucking next year he'll win it again.
I respect that. Christian, where you at?
I got Embiid. I think that 50-pointer just kind of sealed it for him.
I'm also on the 50 ball, but I think it's crazy to me because I think Joel should have won it last year, and I do think Joker should win it this year. But I just think the voters, like Matt said, which again we need to talk more about, because it shouldn't. That's not how it should be. That's not the way. You need to vote for whoever is the best player in the league, because we know it's not value. That's not the award. It's
right.
not. But if that's the case, it should be Joker again this year. But it's gonna be Embiid because of the, like Matt said, like everyone's tired of it. It's not the same how it was back in the day. Like LeBron should have won, and again,
10 years in a row.
He should have just been an MVP 10 years in a row. But that's just not. Who gives a fuck about that story? Oh, again. Right. Same thing with a Brady and an Aaron Rodgers and a Patrick Mahomes. Like no one gives a fuck about that. Like, so it's gonna be Embiid, and it should be, but he should have got it last year. But that's not where we're at.
My problem is with like MVP across all leagues. Like Brady should have more MVPs. Peyton Manning won a majority of MVPs when he was in. He won 4 or 5 of them. I forget. I think it was 5 MVPs.
Yeah.
Which is wild. That's one of the reasons I think he's the GOAT. But like the same thing happens in the NBA. Like Kobe Bryant only won 1 MVP, which is wild. But I think on teams that don't do so well, but they sneak in the playoffs, they have that one great player. Yeah. That should be the player that wins the MVP because that team didn't have shit. Like it shouldn't be the number 1 seed's best player. I feel like it's always should be a lower seed, maybe not even make the fucking playoffs, get them in contention. Like that dude drugged them from the fucking trenches and put them up. That's how I think the MVP should always go. But it always goes
without this dude, they would be the number 1. They would have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, it always just goes to like the number 1 or 2 seed. Like, wow, they had fucking 70 wins this year. Give it to Steph Curry. Like, I mean, he deserved it, but like, it's always those kind of situations where it's the top team, that best player. There you go.
So, do you think it should be like a De'Aaron Fox or like a Donovan Mitchell this year? If going off the way
I feel like Donovan Mitchell should be in heavy contention. I know De'Aaron Fox, he missed a few games and they fucking like won every game without him. He just helps them to another level. But where's Cleveland at without Donovan Mitchell?
Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, exactly. That's really
what MVP is.
Nah, they would be 6, 7 seed.
They would be way lower than they are now.
Yeah, they would be way lower, but they wouldn't be.
That's
a good squad. Donovan Mitchell just adds spunk and a lot of shit points to.
I'm not gonna lie, so I literally just wanted you to talk good about Donovan Mitchell because of how much hate you gave him.
He wasn't doing that shit in Utah though, and you know it. But speaking of moving on, speaking of people taking off and not doing what they need to do, Dame Lillard dropped a freestyle today, and he took shots at fans for wanting him to go and chase a ring. Dame Lillard also was sat out for the remainder of the season because, guess again, no brainer, the Trailblazers aren't in playoff contention. What is that? Dame gotta leave, right? Like he gotta get out of there. I don't see. I think he's trying to. Everybody go and look at Giannis and be like, "Well, Giannis won in Milwaukee, but Giannis had a complete team." Dame, you got 2 other players other than yourself. Yusuf Nurkic, he played like that's who get injured more than anybody in the league. Yusuf Nurkic played like 14 games a season, and he ain't been right since LeBron dunked on him that one time. Career went down. I don't even know who the fuck their 4 is.
Grant?
No, I know Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simmons, but I don't. They got rid of Josh Hart, which I thought was good.
No.
So I don't know who replaced him, but you can't be out here making diss tracks when you're not playing for the rest of the season. Now, granted, he had a calf injury, but nah, Dame, you gonna be low. You need to play, bro. You gotta play it out. You gotta play it out, bro. You only played 29 games last year, and here we go sitting out again. So how y'all feel about that?
At what point do we start calling him a problem in the locker room, or maybe he's the problem or the issue of the team? He may be a great player like Russ is, but maybe he is an issue.
I don't think you can do it with the way the locker room works when they have better talent, because it is hard, especially in the West too, where now you have everybody else, where you can't really will a team like that anymore. That's not how like the NBA is set up either. To where when he had CJ, when he had a number 2 who was a solid number 2, he was they were making playoffs every year. They were winning series that they probably shouldn't have won a couple of times. They were getting blown out, or they had that sweep by New Orleans a couple years ago. But I think having a number 2, like now, Dame, it's just Dame. and that's what they got.
Yeah, they have a number 2, but now I feel like it's a better team because I can't pronounce his name. Someone with an N, Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simmons, however you pronounce his name. That's a much better squad than Dame and McCollum. Like,
yeah, but so it's a better squad, but they're not winning the games. You know what I'm saying? They're
exactly,
not.
but is that on Dame's fault? He has a better overall team at every position. It's not just him and McCollum just putting up numbers.
Well, that's the Kyrie Luka thing, like where you can put up numbers and have a decent enough squad to kind of help you win those games. Whereas instead of, I'm not saying it's just them two, but when it's just one guy with a solid squad, that's not what's going to get you anything in the NBA anymore. It's a wrap. That's not happening. You can't name me another team with one dude and a quote unquote solid roster who's doing that. You can't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He has a better team now than he did with him and McCollum.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, man. I'm on the same.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Matt.
I think so.
It's just because you can't be biased because Jeremy Grant came from Detroit, man. Like,
no, that's not at all what I'm saying. It was McCollum, and then who they had fucking at one point they had Melo out there, fucking 38 years old, trying to fucking be a number 3 out there.
He was playing really well with the Blazers.
I don't know why he doesn't have another shot in the league, but
I don't know. Dame and CJ McCollum was going to the playoffs
and winning series
versus Russ.
So another thing I do want to bring up, the loyalty aspect, where he was dissing the fans, but it's like because he doesn't. There's nothing else you can do. Are you going to be a loyal loser, or are you going to be the piece of shit who left and won a chip? Like there's never like. We don't give these dudes any fucking credit for whatever they're doing because that's how we look at it.
Bro,
well, Gordon never left. What?
You can win at some places, bro. Like it's okay. It's okay.
I've said that for years, Tonio.
I know. I'm agreeing with you. It's okay, Dame. I'm talking to Dame. Dame, you know we cool. Go ahead, Chris.
Let me say this. I'm real biased. Dame's my guy, and I've always liked the Blazers for some odd reason. So I feel like with Dame, the way Julio feels about LeBron, he can do no wrong.
Real quick. Hey, man, this dude's a fucking traitor. The Trailblazers and the Ravens. No Lions, no Pistons. Go ahead, Chris.
He's got footprints all across America.
Come on.
It's Lewis and Christian. That's who it was. Yeah. Not Lewis and Christian.
I like with Dame, they fumbled the ball a long time ago when they let Aldridge go, Wesley Matthews, Batum. That was a squad.
Yeah.
That was a squad, and they fumbled the ball, letting those guys get out of there. Aldridge.
That squad did get their ass wiped by injury-prone AD.
True. LaMarcus Aldridge, he wanted to get out of there. I guess they could have. I don't know what they could have did to keep him there, but they fumbled the ball there. But it seems like Lillard, they just they don't give him enough help. Him and McCollum were good, but nobody really thought they were going to go into the finals. Nobody thought they were going to win the Western Conference. He hasn't had a solid, consistent big man since Aldridge left. Nurkic stays hurt, like you said. Robin Lopez, average guy. He never has
a goofy.
Right. He's never had a true big man down low, and no supporting cast. They just, and I think he's tired of the same cycle. We're going on over 10, 12 years now.
So I will say this, and we'll move on to the last topic because we're getting up there. The new CBA that came out, or they trying to get, I don't know if it came out, what they trying to do is supposed to help small market teams be able to land big name players and pay them to keep up with the places like New York, Boston, LA, Miami and shit like that. So maybe, bro, but I just think yes or no, and we'll move on to the last thing. Billy, does Dame need to leave? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Matt.
Absolutely. There's nothing happening in Portland.
Christian.
Get out of there.
It's a such thing as being loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what Dame is doing. Bron had to. Everybody say Bron was a fucking coward for going to Miami. I don't feel that way, and I like you said, I am a Bron stan. But everybody like, well, the decision was shitty. Well, the decision got the Boys and Girls Club $20 million. Nobody never talk about that shit.
Nope.
Yeah, like, it's just he was shitty. Let me burn his jersey. And then he went and won and came back to shitty ass Cleveland, where your owner
brought them the damn title.
Like never winning anything. Hope you never be successful. And you came back and took this dude to the finals 4 or 5 years straight and won and won. Dang, follow suit, man. The greatest to ever do it did it. It's okay, bro. Like, it's okay because everybody's not gonna go do like everybody. Well, Jordan and Kobe stayed in the same places. Well, Jordan, they built that team around Jordan.
I would understand if Dame was if they was trying to give him help, but it's like they're trading his assets away.
But though, see, that's the thing, man. Is like it's ruined for everybody now because if Dame leaves, he's a bitch. That's how people are gonna look at it. And if he stays, they're gonna be like, oh, well, he never won a ring, so who the fuck cares how great he was?
Right.
And it's just that where you're just it's lose-lose. That's what
yeah.
This is gonna sound dumb, but I don't know. I just thought about it. Is Dame like before he got traded? But is Dame the Stafford of the NBA, where he's this great player on this just fucking shitty squad?
I can see that.
Yeah,
gets good players around him, but doesn't get enough. He gets like that one good player. We're like, damn, that guy's really fucking good. That's a good squad, and then nothing happens of it. Until he gets traded, then Dame will go off and fucking win.
But I will say one thing about Stafford. A lot of people try to say, "Oh, he's not good." If you really watch football and look at his stats, he was not the problem. I don't think many people say that Lillard's not good though.
Before you got on the show, we definitely bigged up Matt Stafford a lot. Average 4 a year. Great quarterback. But I think, like I said, being loyal to a fault, man. And last thing, the Hall of Fame class 2023, I got problems with it. I don't know if y'all will, but
what? Let me hear your problems first.
I mean, we gotta say so. Dwayne Wade, Dirk, Powell, Tony Parker, Becky Hammond, and Greg Popovich. That's the elects for the Hall of Fame. My problems with it is the Greg joint. I don't think Greg Popovich should be in it while he's still in it. I feel like that's a slap in the face to him. Like, hey, don't even if the Spurs aren't what the Spurs were because they won't get help or they can't draft well or get a draft piece, he's still coaching. Like, he's still
retired before we put you in there.
Yeah, like I don't think because it's like, is that the league telling him, hey man, or somebody saying, hey, get Greg up out of there, man. You know, let's put him in the Hall of Fame while he's still, because I don't like that.
That's the problem with the Basketball Hall of Fame, though, is that even there's a bunch of NCAA head coaches who are in the Hall of Fame, and they're still fucking coaching, and some of them you've never even heard of. Like, what the fuck? That dude's a Hall of Famer? Like, that's the problem with the Basketball Hall of Fame is, like, they put in Greg. Like, give the props, give their flowers once they're done. Not
but
like,
what's the thing
I'm
in
towards
the
the end of my career. Here's my flowers. That's like showing up to your own funeral. Be like, damn, they got me a lot of nice flowers. Like, fuck, they really like me, but like, is it over? Like,
let me ask this, because I know in the NFL you have to be retired for 4 years to be eligible, right?
5.
What is it in the NBA? If they're still getting
there isn't one because it's not the NBA Hall of Fame, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame.
So how do you become eligible though?
You don't.
What's the criteria?
Good shit.
So
and you can put in.
You have to whatever you're going to be elected for. You have to do that for 10 years. So you got to be a coach for 10 years. You have to be a player for 10 years. You got to be a WNBA player for 10 years. You have to. So for college, if you don't play in the NBA, for college you have to coach for 10 years, or you have to play all 4 seasons if you're a collegiate basketball Hall of Famer.
And if I'm not mistaken, you can be a fucking Hall of Fame pro basketball player and then a Hall of Fame coach. So you can be a Hall of Famer twice.
Yep.
Like, I'm already in the Hall of Fame and now I'm in it again. Like
Phil Jackson.
Just kissing or something.
Yeah. I mean, they need their work, but they still not the worst Hall of Fame in the league or out of all sports. Worst Hall of Fame is the MLB. Gonna stand on the hill. And you know it, Matt. They're fucking terrible.
Outside of like 3 players, it's not the worst.
It's the worst by far because it's players that should be in regardless of scandal and all that shit. So they're the worst by far. But man, hey, it's been a dope episode for an hour and 40 minutes, man.
Real fast, let me before we end, I do want to say that's why I was upset with you with saying you had a problem with it. I think this is my favorite class that I've ever seen, and maybe it's because I'm getting old as fuck now. That like these are the players that I watched getting into the Hall of Fame. So I think this is the best class that we've seen get into. I understand the problem with Pop doing it because he's still coaching. Same thing with Becky Hammond, she's still coaching. So I'm with you on that. But the names, if you like, let's say all of them were retired, the names, you're like, oh, this is a fucking probably
a stud class.
Like,
yeah, bro. I don't have a problem with the class, just
the way the class is.
Yeah, the way the class is. Because shout out to Becky Hammond, like she's a good fucking coach, but she coaching. She just started.
Great player, also great player.
So now, if they doing Becky Hammond the player, boom, got it. If they doing it for Becky Hammond the coach, I'm mad about that. Like, you know, if they try to include it, I don't like that neither. Like, get her for the player she was because she's an amazing player.
Yep.
Let her coach for at least 10 more years before we start trying to put her in the Hall of Fame and let Pop retire. That's all. But the class alone is probably one of the most star-studded we're going to see until some of them 2003 dudes retire, like at the same time. Because D-Wade the only one retired, right?
Yeah.
Melo's still just a free agent.
Yeah. So when Melo like, all right, Brian out the league, I know I ain't getting back in. That class is gonna be crazy. I don't know. Chris Bosh never officially retired, or
I think he did
like 2 years ago.
Oh, no Hall of Fame for him. That's crazy. Either way, back to what I was saying. This has been a dope show. I've heard some of the craziest takes from Christian. He's trying to up himself with the Odell Beckham. It's been weird. I can't wait till we find them videos of, yeah, man, problematic wherever you go. And I didn't say that. Can't wait.
Hey, y'all look for those texts too, because I never said it.
Paul Cornico, it's good to have you on the show, man.
Canerco.
Same thing. Cornico.
Hitting bombs outside of Chicago.
Yep, you said my mama outside Chicago.
Hey, same thing.
Why he gonna say same thing? Whoa, easy.
Another window broke. Hey, but I bet Billy, you got something?
No, I was just gonna say, dude, I think this is one of our best shows we've done. It was a little longer than we thought, but I mean, hey, that's how shit goes sometimes.
It is.
It's always good to be longer instead of shorter.
Tell it to my wife because I tell her the opposite about every 3 days. So
you tell her what? Man, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I tell her it's shorter is better.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, for me it is. I don't know about her.
You can't control it. That's what you got.
She gets the best effort. I'll tell her that.
And that's all that matters.
Bingo. All right, man. Episode 57 has been crushing it.
I will see y'all next week, man.
Appreciate it all the time. Thanks, y'all.